this is Bill Bryson and welcome to BWCA Cast. We're out here on Rosa Lake on the Voyagers Highway. Yesterday we didn't get a whole lot of shooting in because there was just a ton of rain and pretty high winds that were causing some pretty large waves to splash over the edge of the canoe, and I just couldn't really risk the camera getting wet like that. When we ended up stopping last night, we had around, I don't know, 10 to 15 gallons of water in the back of the canoe. So we were taking on quite a bit of water. But today it is still overcast, but it has not rained on us really this morning. I remember last night some rain did come through and I heard it coming down on the tent. But so far today, knock on wood, we've had some nice rain-free skies. We're gonna load up our canoe here a little bit and keep heading west. We're gonna go down to the end of Rosa here, and we've got a couple of little portages that's gonna put us into South Lake, and then we're gonna go from there up into North Lake and continue west into Gunflint Lake. So we're making pretty good time. We had a really pretty long day yesterday. We did the long portage, which is 660 rods over 2 miles. And that's a long ways to pack your canoe and all of your gear. But I'll tell you what, it's a really pretty portage. If you have the chance to come up here, even if you don't plan on going through there, leave your packs and stuff behind and walk down through there. It's a really pretty area. There's a lot of large trees and a river running along the side of the portage trail. It's a great place to just go for a little hike if you're not planning on canoeing through there. But with all of our gear on, it was a little laborious and we weren't able to get much shooting done in there. So sorry I couldn't show it to you on the show. But today we're going to head on down the lakes, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some really cool sights and sounds. We're out here on Rosa Lake paddling down towards South Lake, and the topography around this lake is just phenomenal. There's huge cliff faces off to the east towards Mountain Lake, and it's just a really cool area. We've seen quite a few boats, canoes out here, and I assume we've seen quite a few people fishing, so it looks like it might be a pretty good fishing lake. And just looking at the scenery around here, I can see why people flock to this area. But I mean, all around us we've got mountains coming up out of the lake and quite a few cliff faces, so it's a really cool spot to be just out canoeing around and enjoying the sights and sounds. We just broke camp and we're heading on our way, but I just wanted to point out that it's just a really pretty lake to be on. partway across South Lake here, and I just wanted to point out, when you are in the boundary waters on some of these border lakes, you have to be careful if you're fishing out of your canoe that you are in a United States waters. If you drift off and start fishing in Canadian waters as a United States citizen, you can get into some pretty hefty fines, and vice versa. If you're a Canadian resident and you find yourself in American waters fishing, you can also get into some trouble. So just keep an eye on where you're at in the lake, and if you're doing fishing on one of these border lakes, make sure you're on the correct side of the line. I know there's not a line in the lake, so just try to make sure you're on quote-unquote your side of the lake. But we're going to work our way across here and portage into North Lake. Fowl Lake now, after portaging out of South Fowl Lake. We're going to head north, and there's 3 campsites on our way onto Gunflint Lake. We're hoping that we're going to be able to find one of those empty and set up camp for the evening. We got a nice sandy beach here to take off from, as opposed to most of the portages we've been on previously have been really rocky and kind of tough to land the canoe on. So it's kind of a nice change of scenery, but we're going to head off across the lake here and look for a campsite.